It's a perfectly nice afternoon. 2 toddlers, 1 room, a basket of toys. And then the scream. They both wanted the same little blue truck. One of them is now clutching it like their life depends on it. The other is on the floor, and every parent in the room turns to look at you and waits. So you say the magic word, "Share!" and nothing happens. Here's what nobody tells you. Your child isn't being selfish. Their brain is simply not built to share yet. And that is completely normal. Sharing is a skill, not a manner. We talk about sharing as if it were good manners, as if a child who won't share is being rude, and a child who will is being kind. But sharing isn't a manner, it's a skill. A surprisingly complicated one. And like walking or talking, it arrives on its own schedule, one you can't rush. To genuinely share, a child has to do several hard things at the same time. They have to understand that the toy is theirs. They have to imagine that someone else wants it too. They have to believe they'll get it back. And they have to stop their own hands from holding on. For a 2-year-old, every one of those is still under construction. Let's take them one at a time. Reason 1. The world is still mine. Somewhere around 18 months to 2 years, a child discovers a powerful new word, mine. To adult ears, it sounds greedy, but it's actually one of the most important steps in becoming a person. Before a child can give something away, they first have to understand that it belongs to them. Mine isn't selfishness. It's the discovery of ownership, the dawn of I and my. A child who has just figured out that things can belong to them is in no hurry to give those things away. They're too busy being amazed that they can have them at all. Reason 2. They can't yet stand in your shoes. Here's the second hard thing. To want to share, you have to understand that the other child wants the toy too. That they have their own feelings, separate from yours. Psychologists call this theory of mind. And in a toddler, it's only just beginning to switch on. A 2-year-old isn't ignoring the other child's feelings. It's that those feelings aren't fully real to them yet. The world is still seen from a single chair. Their own. This isn't a flaw. It's a stage. And it slowly opens up over the next few years, until one day your child notices a friend is sad and brings them a toy without being asked. Reason 3. Gone means gone forever. The third hard thing is about time. When you say, give it to her, you'll get it back in a minute. You're making a promise your toddler can't understand. A minute. Later. Your turn. These are abstract ideas, and the part of the brain that handles them is years from finished. So when a toddler hands over a toy, it doesn't feel like sharing. It feels like loss. Forever. From their point of view, you're asking them to give away something they love, with no guarantee it will ever come back. No wonder they hold on. Reason 4. The brakes aren't installed yet. And the fourth thing might sound familiar. To share, a child has to stop themselves, to override the urge to grab and hold. That takes impulse control. And as we saw with tantrums, the part of the brain that does that, just behind the forehead, is the last to grow up. Wanting to be good isn't enough. The brakes simply aren't installed yet. So when your child can't share, they aren't failing a test of character. They're missing 4 tools that no 2-year-old has finished building. The myth of forced sharing. Which brings us to the thing most of us do by reflex. We make them share. We take the toy from one child and hand it to the other in the name of fairness. It feels right. But think about what it actually teaches. The child learns that a bigger, louder person can take your things whenever they decide it's fair. That's compliance, not generosity. Real sharing, the kind we actually want, comes from the inside. And it can't be forced any more than you can make a plant grow by pulling on it. What actually helps? So what does work? The first shift is simple. Stop teaching sharing and start teaching turn-taking. Instead of give it to her, try she'll have a turn when you're finished. This does something powerful. It respects that the toy is, right now, your child's. And because the turn ends naturally, your child slowly learns that letting go isn't loss. The toy comes back. Trust gets built, one turn at a time. A few more things help. Acknowledge ownership out loud. That's yours, you decide. It sounds backwards, but children who feel secure in what's theirs tend to share more easily, not less. Model it constantly. Let them watch you share and say it out loud. I'm going to share my orange with you. Name the feelings in the room. You both want the truck. That's hard. And when your child shares on their own, even once, even by accident, notice it. You gave her a turn. That was kind. You're showing them what the feeling is called so they can find it again. The payoff. Because here's the quiet truth underneath all of this. Generosity isn't a rule you install. It's a capacity you grow, slowly, through hundreds of small moments where a child feels safe enough and understood enough to open their hands. Every time you choose patience over pressure, you're not letting bad behavior slide. You're giving a skill the time it needs to arrive. So the next time 2 toddlers and 1 toy turn into a small disaster, and they will, try to remember what you're really looking at. Not a selfish child, not a parenting failure, a young mind learning 4 enormous things at once, right on schedule. Your patience isn't giving up on manners. It's giving generosity the room to grow. If this helped, the next video looks at something children do all day that adults often wave away as just playing, and why it might be the most important work they will ever do. We'll see you there.